ਇੱਕ ਪਾਸੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਨਿਊਜ਼ੀਲੈਂਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੋਣ ਮੈਦਾਨ ਭਖਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਅਤੇ ਅਰਲੀ VOTING ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕੀ ਹੈ, ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਦੂਜੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਇੰਡੀਅਨ ਵੀਕਐਂਡਰ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਨਿਊਜ਼ੀਲੈਂਡ ਚੋਣਾਂ ਦੇ ਮੱਦੇਨਜ਼ਰ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਪਾਰਟੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਨਤਕ ਚਰਚਾ ਕਰਵਾਈ ਗਈ। ਇਸ ਮੌਕੇ ਤੇ ਵੱਖੋ-ਵੱਖਰੀਆਂ ਪਾਰਟੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਨੁਮਾਇੰਦਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਆਪੋ-ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕੀਤੇ।
I think New Zealand is a much better place because of the strong, vibrant Indian community we have in New Zealand. And I think you should be incredibly proud of how much you've contributed to this great country of ours. We are a better place economically, socially and culturally because of you. And you inspire me every day because I know how hard you have worked to get here. I know that you left your family, I know that you left your friends and your culture and your languages and you came here to New Zealand and you've worked incredibly hard. You've taken 2 jobs, 3 jobs to get that first deposit for a house or a business, and I think you are a great inspiration to the rest of New Zealand to see as a role model to follow as well. It's an inspiring story, the immigrant story, and to see Indian Kiwis now in all stratas of life is just so exciting and so positive. I also want to say that's why we want to make sure that you are supported with the parental visa, which we announced recently. We think that's important. I remember being in COVID and actually running into a doctor who actually was working 13 hours a week, 13 hours a day. His wife was doing the same out in East Auckland, and there was no one to look after the 3-year-old. And that's exactly why a parental grandparent visa like we've proposed will be very, very helpful.
Act of migrating to a new land is something that all New Zealanders have in common. Even my Maori ancestors arrived in New Zealand recently compared with most of human history. My European ancestors arrived a few seconds ago. And as we know, the first Indian New Zealander was here on Captain Cook's ship in 1769, just having a wee look. Whether you have been here for 15 generations or one, you are somebody who is a child of pioneers, of people who have taken an enormous chance, made a big and risky choice to build a better life in a faraway land. And in the ACT Party, we celebrate that because our values are based on the simple idea that we should each be able to make a difference in our own lives and the lives of those that we care about. Thank you. And what does that...
He talked about poverty being man-made. He said no one, and I quote, "No one is born poor. Society makes one poor." He also said that the true measure of a society lies in the way that we treat our most vulnerable. And he's right. Despite some of the toughest economic conditions in a generation or more, we've lifted 77,000 children out of poverty. We've seen also record numbers of people move off benefit and into work, and that latter part is important because just kicking people off benefit is what leads to homelessness increasing as well. Making real change is about creating jobs and paying people decent wages. And I'll just give you one example of that. Let's just look at nurses' salaries. We know that so many nurses in Aotearoa, New Zealand, come from our communities. When Labour took office in 2017, the top of the registered nurse pay scale was 66,755. Today, it's 106,738.